Okay.
So it's live on
Martin is
YouTube.
setting up the meeting for YouTube Live. It's redirecting.
Says it is now streaming live on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's Saturday night.
Looks like the Brady Bunch, actually.
The Brady Bunch
Yeah.
at their current
Maybe-
ages, not when they were
maybe-
young.
Maybe the actors as they are.
Okay, and
not
there
as
it
they
is.
were.
I'm gonna. Okay, so back to,
What is that phone number?
Some people are coming in probably just listening.
yeah,
Oh, I see.
Zorian, you can't go on the phone at the same time because it's a time delay. It will cause a really bad echo.
No, I see this. I just asking question. I
Oh.
see.
Oh, that might be somebody calling in to listen, maybe to speak at the public hearing.
I
Right.
see.
Um,
Okay, clear.
Yep, what I would have to do is open them up at some point.
All right, are we good to go?
Let me hit record on my computer, so we're recording.
It says Mary Lou is connecting the audio.
Yeah, she lost her audio.
Not immediately.
And Maren,
Yep.
when we do the roll call, why don't I take a moment and I'll unmute those there's three phone lines on, just to find out who they are. They might be a representative. If they're for the public hearing, we'll mute them again and ask them to wait.
Okay.
They might
Okay.
also be from Wayward Ranch. It might be the lawyer.
Who knows who it is? So
Yeah.
and I have no way of knowing because it's only a phone number, so.
Okay.
We still don't have Mary Lou's audio. We had it, but we lost it.
What's the matter?
If anybody is not speaking or not going to speak for a while, if you want to mute yourself, please do.
Then we have to do the roll call part, right?
Yeah,
Let,
we're
Alex,
still waiting for Mary Lou to get on audio, though.
come on, Mary Lou.
Yeah, I moved it. Your phone?
What is this dog doing?
Mo, it's M-A-L-O-N-E-Y or M-O-L-O-N-E-Y?
Moloney, just like
Okay.
my initials.
Gotcha. I'm just renaming you.
No, rename me. No E.
Oh, I'll fix it.
No E after the and.
Oh, I got you. Wrong, no E.
There you go.
Got it.
Thank you.
All right, Mike, say when.
I believe so.
No,
I'm not sure.
you made noise and the box lit up.
I think it's muted.
She may not know. Yeah, John, I'm gonna mute you for the moment.
She doesn't even have a microphone. I don't know if did she test her microphone?
I heard her before when she came on.
I know. Well, can she you can't call,
I tried calling her and went straight to voicemail, so I just texted her. But I don't know if she's got her phone.
there we go. She's up. She just needs to unmute.
Yeah, I'll unmute her. There we go.
I updated my Zoom app today. That was obviously a stupid idea.
Okay.
It took
All right,
about
guys.
You
Can
were
we
ten
go?
on, so-
tests to get the microphone working. Okay, but I'm here.
Okay, and we are recording, Maren, so go ahead.
All right, a call to order of the April 13th, 2020 Planning Board regular meeting. We will pledge the flag. If I don't break it, I'm going to turn my computer to the flag.
Somebody brought one.
Can we see it?
Yes.
You're good.
Yep.
All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic
To the
for which
For which it
stands,
stands.
One nation.
one nation, indivisible,
God.
and justice for all. All right, roll call, Brianna.
Chair Lindstrom,
Here.
Mr. Williams,
Here.
Mr. Jones,
Here,
Mr. Buckbinder. He's here.
He is here.
He is
Brian,
here.
take off your
Off your mute.
mute.
Mr. Sarofsky,
here.
Mr. Pinsky,
Here.
Ms. Maloney,
Here.
Brianna, go back to Brian. His mute is off now.
Yeah.
Mr. Buckbinder.
Yeah, I'm here.
All right.
And
Announcement.
Maren, let me unmute the 3 phone callers to try to identify who they are.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. We have a caller that is on 262 or 267 221 8572. Can you identify yourself, please?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, this is Patrick Logan with Rodenhausen, Shaw and Polidoro. I'm here for the Wayward Ranch application.
Okay, we're going to mute you for the moment and we'll unmute you when we get to that. Thank you very much.
Understood.
Okay, next we have somebody at 845-626-0662. Can you state who you are, please?
Edward Geschwantner,
Okay, and you here for which application?
the subdivision on Van Tyne Road.
Okay, I'm going to mute you for the moment, and when we open the public hearing, we will unmute you to be able to speak.
Thank you.
Thank you. And then we also have 864-270-2606. Can you identify yourself, please?
Hi, Miles Pittman. I'm here for the lot line revision of 144-148 Rocky Mountain Road.
Okay, thank you. I'm going to mute you for now, and we will unmute you when we get to your application. Thank you.
Thank
you. Okay, Maren, it's all yours.
Okay, guys.
Let me go ahead and put up on the screen, share, real quick, the statement that Mary Lou suggests we read. And are you seeing it?
You've started, yes.
Yeah.
Hold on. I need to get my pictures out of the way because I cannot see. I have confirmed with the Town's Council that tonight's meeting has been convened in accordance with the Governor's March 13th, 2020 Executive Order 202 Spot 1, which suspends certain provisions of the Open Meetings Law. to allow municipal board to convene a meeting via video conferencing. In accordance with the executive order, the public is provided with the ability to view tonight's work session meeting via YouTube, and a transcript will be provided at a later date. Planning Board Secretary has completed a roll call of the board members, and there is quorum present for this meeting. I have also confirmed with the secretary that this meeting has been duly noticed. We have fulfilled our legal notice requirements by posting notice on the town clerk bulletin board and outside the door, posting legal notice in the Daily Freeman, and posting notice on the town's website.
I just want to comment that this isn't the work session that was taken from the town board meetings, and that this is the regular planning board meeting.
Thank you. This is the regular. planning board meeting.
Thank you. I missed
Thank
that
you.
edit. I apologize. And I'm going to mute myself from now on. It's on your shoulders now, Maren. Good luck.
Okay, thank you. Announcements and communications. We need to cancel. I don't think we'll be needing it. The May workshop 31st meeting, it's on Memorial Day, so it is probably worthwhile to cancel it. If everybody, I will put a motion forth to cancel the May workshop Memorial Day meeting on the 31st. We're going to roll call everything because it'll just be easier and faster that way. So Brianna, go for it.
Chair Lindstrom,
Yep.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Jones,
I'll second that motion and yes to it.
Mr. Buckbinder,
Aye.
Mr. Sarofsky,
Aye.
Mr. Pinsky,
Yes.
Ms. Maloney.
Yes.
I want to interrupt.
Yes.
May 31st is a Sunday. Were you looking to do the April 30th?
No, the April 30th.
Workshop, is that what you meant to?
I don't think we have anything for that one either. But Brianna pointed out to me that the Monday, we could do both of them because the May one is, that last Monday is Memorial Day. Is that right?
Okay, which is May 25th.
So I correct the date to be May 25th. I don't have a calendar here.
And Mary Lou, it's actually April 27th is the meeting, not the 30th. The 30th is-
So, yep, I'm looking at your meeting.
Yes.
So would you like to maybe rescind that last one and amend to cancel both the Monday, April 27th and the Monday, May 25th meetings?
I would like to rescind the last vote and set a vote for cancellation of the April 25th, correct?
Yes,
27th.
27th. Thank you. I've got no
25th.
calendar here. April 27th and May
25th.
25th workshop meetings. Let us do a vote again.
I'll
Brianna.
we
second
need a
that.
second.
Thank you.
I'll second.
Second it.
Chair Lindstrom,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Jones,
Aye.
Mr. Buckbinder,
Yes.
Mr. Sarofsky,
Yes.
Mr. Pinsky. Mr. Pinsky?
Yes.
Oh, and Ms. Maloney.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, the only thing left after that is I was not here to approve the March 9th regular planning board meeting minutes. I need a motion from somebody else.
I'll make the motion.
Second.
I
Roll call again.
Chair Lindstrom?
I didn't
I
hear,
abstain, I
I didn't
wasn't
hear your
there.
word, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's right. Mr. Williams?
Aye.
Mr.
Okay, yeah, I'm staying as well.
Okay, Mr. Buckbinder?
He's muted.
Ryan.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, he said.
Yeah, the computer keeps muting and unmuting. I'm not touching anything.
Mr. Sarofsky?
Yes.
Ms. Maloney?
Yes.
Mr. Pinsky is abstaining.
All right, guys, the next is, the first application is Planning Board 2020-01 subdivision for Cindy Graham, minor subdivision of a plus or minus 47.5 acre parcel. We have a public hearing and a continued application. I am going to try to do this. Share my screen. There we are. I'm not even going to try to like make it be there a proper slideshow from beginning. Okay, here's where we are. This is the application we're on. This is the first map that we received from them, and I was not here for this meeting also. You can see the somewhere I was able before to be able to use my annotation drawer, which has seemed to disappear right now. But you see the driveway going in, and when I was not here, you guys asked for greater detail, which we got. Some greater detail showing that there's a habitat core. I have a lot of questions left on this. I don't think that the application is finished, so I can say right now that I will and also for protocol, we will keep the public hearing open in light of the awkwardness of how we're doing this right now, and also in light of the fact that we're going to need some more information. And I'll read through the information that I saw. First of all, the final plan is going to need the property owner's SBL and deed information across the street of Sampsonville and across the street in Van Tine. We ask that of all of our subdivisions. So those are both blank. Those will need to be added. 125-12 B 4 and 5, the type of water supply proposed, type of sewer system proposed, need to show the proposed driveways, septic well, and residential locations, because these lots are very multivariate sloping. So I don't see where lot 2 and lot 3 really could sustain houses. And whenever we subdivide, even if you're keeping it vacant, it is assumed the reason of a subdivision is to build. This is in the code. We're going to need to see where you propose septic and where you propose the houses. 125-12 B10. Application shall be accompanied by all rights of way, easements, access, and improvements, both existing and proposed. Any site features or known environmental constraints that have a bearing on the project, including general topography, floodplain, wetland bodies of water, and existing ground cover. If you look at the driveway, if you get an aerial shot, there are ponds on, it is lot 1. Those are going to have to be called out, because we're going to have to see if you're at a proposed house, if it would be a proper distance. I also think that this application should be sent to the DEC so they could do an analysis to see if there are. It looks like they're vernal ponds. If they could look at the wetlands. There's a stream that goes under the driveway from lot 2 to lot 3. And 125-12I, soil test documentation may be required. Do the town of Rochester Planning Board along with soil evaluation by test pit method. We have pretty much required everybody. We go back for the past 3, all of our applications that have come in to do a perk test to see if it would be able to sustain sewage, especially given this is on bedrock, especially given the slopes. So when I go and I look at the seeker part 1, I have some I know you guys, I don't know if you did this when I wasn't here, but I think we need some more information. We can start an open seeker, but there definitely needs to be more information, in my opinion, as to what is going on in this lot before we know that it is really going to be capable of being subdivided. We do have the road maintenance agreement that you see here. And Mary Lou, that to me looked self-explanatory and fine.
Yeah, I just have a couple very, very small changes to that, really
Okay.
minor. And that's that after we have our final map, that we have the name of the map and the title of the map put into that first paragraph. And then in the third paragraph, there's a typo, that's all.
Okay.
Should they go to Barry, John?
Pardon?
Should I send those changes to Barry? I also see it says,
Yes, they tried to get most of that done, but because no one's been going into the office. That's
right, and well, before we can put in the map name, we'll need and the date, we'll need the final map anyway.
right.
So I just didn't know if you would want it to go. I see that Bill Collier's name is on this. I didn't know if
The road
changes
maintenance was
to
done
go
by
to Bill or to Barry.
The road maintenance was done by Bill Collier.
All right, so I'll send my comments to Bill. Thank you.
Yeah.
So we could open up, everybody. Does anybody else have any comments on the board?
I have a question.
Yes.
Looking at that map, how is fire truck can turn on that sharp turn?
Could you open up the map on the screen again? And I'll answer some of your questions.
There you go, Maren, you're on it.
Right here. Can you see my cursor right there on lot 2? You see
No,
that?
you need,
No, we can't see your
Okay,
stuff.
well, right there on lot 2, if you look at that area where there's the contours are very far apart, that's the building site, which is quite large. This is almost 6 acres. The driveway goes in right here, is where the driveway goes in, whoops, the map's going again. If you follow the initial.
Is that, I'm sorry to interrupt you. Is it possible to zoom in?
If it's a PDF, Maren, you should be able to do it from your header with the plus button. If it zooms on your screen, it'll zoom on everybody's screen.
She's using a PowerPoint. It's not going to be zoomable.
yeah,
Oh,
it's not coming
PowerPoint?
to PowerPoint. So you're talking about here, right? This area?
No, lot 2.
Lot 2,
Yes,
here?
yes. It's
So you're
flat, it's level, it's all dirt. There is no bedrock on this property. Also, and the water
Well,
you
when
see.
you look at the, Jack, when you look at the, it says there's bedrock on it. You're in a low well yield area that says it's bedrock wells there. So that's gonna have to be
No,
confirmed.
no, it's not. There's no bedrock. It's across the street.
All right, well, you are in the low well yield area and you're
Well,
almost on the aquifer.
They can call it what they want. It's all clay.
That's fine, then I'm gonna
Rock,
have to
a lot
have
of
that.
rock.
You're gonna have to do the test and show it. Your word is not gonna be enough on it.
Right. Well, when we dig holes for perk test, it'll show up there too.
Exactly. And
but-
that's gonna have to be done before anything is subdivided.
I don't believe it has to be done before it's subdivided. It has to be done before it's built.
We can request that it has to be done before it's subdivided. It's in our code.
Interesting. Okay, so anyway,
We have asked that of previous people.
okay.
We've gone through a bunch of this,
Okay, before final, that's no problem.
yep.
My engineer that does my perk test, he's got corona right now. He's getting better though. He's feeling much better. And
So
yeah,
you're gonna have to also show so the driveway goes, I don't know, I'm making up a driveway, the driveway.
right, the
goes-
driveway, it goes straight, follows the road that goes in and goes straight up to it. It's a very minor little rise right there. It's actually already there. There's a lot of wood roads here because it's all been timbered and different things throughout the years. But it goes, so we just took what was there and we drive right up to that spot. If you take the driveway and just go straight, it goes straight up to that spot. Yeah. And then the water you see that's by our house there in that low contour lowing area, that originates from across the road. It's a drain that crosses the road and a culvert pipe. And most of the year, the water comes down out of that and it collects in these little pond things we dug. They're very small. They don't support fish. They're, maybe 20 feet wide. And
All
then,
right, well, you're gonna have to call them out on the map.
yeah,
They're vernal.
yeah, they're vernal. But anyway, and then we just did a ditch along the road and it goes down and then it crosses the road down here, as does a culvert down here. And then when it rains, of course, in all these low holes throughout the property, they hold water and then they just dissipate. They don't run anywhere. But yeah, the standing is there. And on lot 3, the building location is, if you look at the straight, well, how can I put that? No.
You're, see my beautiful.
Hold it up in front, hold it up in front of the camera.
Oh, that's a good idea. Straight in. Actually, if on Van Tine Road and you go straight in, don't follow the driveway, straight in, and you see those round circle spots, those are the building spots. They're little plateaus, high spots. And they have view, it's a view. So it goes, the driveway there, which is also a logging road, goes straight in and goes straight back. And kind of where you drew that big weird circle. Yeah.
No, I tried to get a eraser and I'm not doing a good job of getting a
but that's the building location there. Back here on the 20 acres, we don't even know if we're gonna really subdivide this off our property or not. What we're trying to do is be able to afford tax-wise to keep this property. And so we'd like to keep that and ours, but these two, we need to do something with. We can't afford to just keep hoarding land throughout the years. And
Why don't you conservation subdivision it? You're gonna get a tax break that way.
not enough. And what other question did you have? Of course, we need all the meets and bounds, which Heather said they just couldn't get into the office to do. She tried, she said, but
All right, so you need the meets and bounds. As I said, you need the across the street. You're gonna need the driveways and location of the houses. You're gonna need to do the perk test in these two, and you're gonna need to decide whether or not you divide it or not, because it can't be a maybe. It's either for this subdivision
well, we're
or,
not going to decide to build anything in the back and pick locations for that 20 acres because it's too vast and there's too much else going on the rest of this property. So
no,
that-
but I mean, Jack, as you said, you don't even know if you'll subdivide
right. Well,
this whole-
that's
sort of this whole big part here,
Right.
this whatever lot.
right.
When you decide, you're gonna have to decide
I know.
for the application.
Before the
So,
final.
Right.
we decide.
So right now, this is clearly staying open for a
But
while
no-
because.
No home site is going to be done back here. I can do a perk test, just general anywhere. No big
Well,
deal.
what I'm saying is on that piece there, you're going to have to say, either decide, yes, we're doing it or not, we're doing it, because that'll have to be what we're
Okay.
determining on for the
I
next
know.
public hearing and meeting. And if you're not doing it, then that's fine. If you are doing it, you're gonna have to once again,
Right now, we're cutting it off.
all right, then you have to
There's
show where
no
the
plans
driveway,
There's no plans we're not going to say, I mean, I'll do a perk test anywhere, but it's years from now before we do anything back here.
I realize that, but it's gotta be done before the subdivision, because the thought of a subdivision is, as you said, you can't afford the taxes, is somebody is going to try to sell it and is going to build something. So we don't want to subdivide lots that end up being unsubdividable. So you should show where, if in theory, the driveway would go in.
There's
if-
already a road there. Again, there's logging roads all over this property.
Okay,
It drives all the way through and actually goes all the way over to Cedar Drive. But it is where you drew and you came out and hit Van Tine Road.
it's right about there.
The driveway is real close to that. It's to the right a little more where that level area is, where the contour lines are further apart.
Okay,
And it
So-
follows that
so
and
get-
goes right on
so
through.
get Medenbach Eggers, whoever it's gonna be, to draw that on also. So we need to show, I can show you that, if I can, why is it not?
Because that already has a road culvert in, the driveway's been pre-existing. There's a culvert there. It's been there for years. And like I said, that road goes all the way through, goes across Richie Smith's property and goes
Ooh, it
out.
goes through to everything. Beautiful. I want it to look, I need an eraser. Never have used the kid drawing thing.
Oh, nice.
Want it to look more like this. So you can see here's where the proposed, because this is a lot, another.
But
that we
we'll do
had.
it. No problem. No problem.
Just drawing all those purple lines, John.
I'm terrified to try and erase them now.
Oh, boy.
I'm gonna erase everything.
My granddaughter
So,
will like those.
Mary Lou, how should we proceed with this? Should we open up seeker and leave it open pending getting this information? Or,
No, because it's an advertised public hearing and we do have somebody on one of the phone lines who's here for this. I think
we just have them,
we let anyone who wants to speak to this speak. We're gonna have to hold it open because there's a lot more that needs to be done in any event, and we can do seeker next time. While we're going through the public hearing, John and Cindy, you might want to think about whether, given the current situation, you said your professional, one of them has COVID right now, whether you'll be able to get this stuff in for March, especially with perk tests and things.
Well,
Not March, May, or if
yeah.
you'd rather
Yeah, well,
do it till June, but that's for after we open it up, something to think about, okay?
Right. I also reached out to Barry's office about coming and doing perk tests for us also.
Okay,
Yeah, we will have it.
so Maren, I'd go ahead and,
so I would like to open up the public hearing at this juncture. Sir, I do not remember your name. If you could restate it for us, and we would love to hear your comment. We usually keep this to 7 minutes or of public comment, so I think that should probably be ample. But the microphone is yours.
My name is Edward Geschwantner. Can you hear me?
Yes, perfectly. Thank you.
Oh, good. I'm just wondering, is this going to go on for a while? Because I was listening to you talk about the perk test and some discrepancies in the map. If there's going to be a hold on this, will we be notified of another hearing on this?
You don't, if you are a neighboring, if you were sent directly because you're within 500 feet, you will not be sent another notice that it's going to still have a public hearing. You have to remember, but it will always be on the website, the town website, that the public hearing is still open and still ongoing, but you will
and
not be.
when,
Go
I'm
ahead.
sorry.
Is
And
there
when
any?
I'm sorry, when
I'm
the
sorry, go
public is
ahead.
done speaking today, a date for the continued public hearing will be given tonight. So at the end of this, you'll know when the next date is.
All right, great. Thank you. That's what I was
You're
concerned
welcome.
about, listening to all the details you were going into about the property.
Okay, perfect. Anybody else at this juncture?
You mean public hearing or a member of the board?
For the public?
Public.
Yeah, Maren, I don't have anybody else unmuted because nobody else indicated they wanted to speak. And I
All
don't
right,
see
so-
any new people signing on. So
Perfect. So I'm going to make a motion to continue this public hearing, keep it open to the May 11th, Monday, May 11th, regular planning board meeting. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Brianna?
Chair Lindstrom,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Jones,
Yes,
Mr. Buckbinder. Is he unmuted again? Mr. Buckbinder,
hang on. Let me unmute him. It's not allowing me to unmute him. It's locked on.
should I just go to Sam? Mr.
Am I
Saraf,
still on the line?
You're on. Speak quickly. You're back.
I just have a question about, I believe he said the person who was going to do the perk test has the virus.
Yeah.
Well, did he have it while he was up here working, or did he contract it somewhere else?
No, he's
mean,
an
I'm-
engineer. He hasn't been here.
Okay. I'm just concerned because, you know, how we catch it and
Yeah,
if
no,
he's out here in
on
our
mend
area.
Now, he's home. He's getting better. He's had it for about three weeks now.
Okay, thank you. I wish him well.
Yep.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
There he is.
Yes.
Up, now you're on mute again.
Wow, he's got a very fickle. Can you like do a thumbs up? Does that count?
I think he can indicate, and you should put into the record, so it's in the transcript, which way he is indicating his vote, if you can see him.
So Brian, if you can,
He's,
Oh, he typed it, it said voting yes.
perfect.
Okay.
he's also unmuted again right now, so.
But every time you mute me and unmute me, the computer takes about 30 seconds to get.
Got it.
Yeah, so if you keep doing that, that's what's gonna happen.
We'll just leave you unmuted.
I'll be-
Who else?
Mr. Sarofsky,
Yes.
Mr. Pinsky,
Yes.
Ms. Maloney.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, guys, can we, there's a lot of information that needs to be pulled together. So can we move forward to the next item?
Martin, but what is the answer to my question? If so, I understand that map clearly, you know, that 90 degrees turn from One Tyne Road. Is that a fire truck in turns there?
Yes, it's actually, there's a big clearing right there also where I have tractor trailers come in and load and unload equipment and logs. It's quite large. Yeah. it's quite
And second question, should the highway superintendent review that driveway?
You know what? I'm gonna make a motion to have, to refer this to the town highway superintendent, to have him review the driveway and the proposed driveways. We might want to wait though until we see where all the other proposed driveways are.
Okay.
Jeff was out here, I think, 2 weeks ago.
All right, well, we need to officially refer it to him and he needs to officially write back to us.
Right, because we had problems on the road and we wanted to discuss it with him and he came out and looked at it because of road water, because when it rains here, it's quite the problem.
So I'm gonna make a motion for this to be referred to the town highway superintendent to review the existing driveway to make sure it's safe for fire access. And that should also be marked well on the map that it meets the fire code safety, even though that would be written into the subdivision. Very helpful if that was indicated. Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call.
Chair Lindstrom,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Buckbinder,
Yes.
Mr. Sarofsky,
Yes.
Mr. Pinsky,
Yes.
Ms. Maloney.
Yes.
Martin, I have just a quick question about that core habitat area up in the right-hand corner of the map.
Yep.
And not to go into a lot of detail, it is probably my lack of astuteness on core habitats, but since it's so large, what are the implications on this property of the core habitat? It can never be built on. It's sensitive. It needs extra study. So you may not have the answer, but I just want to raise that as a question.
I think we can, I mean, I would personally like to make a motion to have the DEC come out and look at the property and see refer this to the DEC also. But the map was done by Ulster County along with their open space and various other land use research. And what the map, those habitats are not zoned specifically at this juncture within our zoning law. But as Ulster County states it, They're to identify lands for conservation programs and give more points to lands in the conservation network, to create new ordinances to zone land and develop appropriately, to protect key species at risk and promote abundant wildlife, to attract new heritage tourism and identify and protect view sheds, to protect existing and select new agricultural and forestal districts, to review all transportation planning to avoid sensitive areas, to select future trails and utilize corridors, to identify hazardous areas and avoid development in those locations. That's the goal that Ulster County set up with these maps. So that's why I'd like some more review, because while if we could see where the best building sites are, I would assume it would be closer to the road. Then we could see that they don't come close to the, I mean, the habitat obviously doesn't, a salamander doesn't stop exactly where the habitat is. So, so maybe we could see the first brush and then see if we need to refer it to the DEC, or we could refer it to DEC for review right now. Does anybody have any opinions?
When I spoke to Heather about it, who worked for DEC, and I asked her what it was all about, what she stated, because it's actually labeled Habitat General, and what she stated that means, and she said it means wildlife goes through that area, and when she said DEC won't tell you what the wildlife is because they don't want hunters know where to go for, like, if it's bears or if it's deer or whatever it is. She just says they label it, but they don't want to say, they don't want to tell anybody what it is, because they don't want everybody to say, hey, here's where you can go get fish, or you can go get bear, or you can go get turkey or something.
Okay,
like
that's true, but Jack, don't push me to ask you to do a habitat study and have
No,
someone.
I'm just saying, when I inquired, because I never heard of
Right.
it before, and this is what Heather told me.
So, because my other thought is to have you go and do a full habitat study.
So is this a DEC designation or an Ulster County
This is not,
designation?
this is an Ulster County designation. It is not a DEC designation.
So if we're, I mean, I guess we should either refer to both or one of them to say, why is this categorized as a natural habitat, and let them tell us.
All right, I'll make a motion to refer to both DEC and to Ulster County.
I'll second.
Brianna?
Ulster County what, though?
Ulster County, it's gonna have to, I guess, Ulster County Planning Board will have a better idea.
Okay.
About planning department, not planning board.
Planning Department, I'm sorry, the Planning Department.
Chair Lindstrom,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Buckbinder,
Yes.
Mr. Zarowski,
Yes.
Mr. Pinsky,
Yes.
Ms. Maloney.
Yes.
All right, so you guys have your work cut out for you. Obviously, you can talk to Brianna and myself if any of this is unclear, but you have a bunch of map details and some perk tests and some studies to slowly but surely get to, and we'll hold the public hearing open, and then we'll hopefully see some more stuff the next time. All right, I'm going to move us on so I can go relieve my, okay, why does it, there we
So
go.
Martin, it's Mike. You might want to just let the gentleman know on the public hearing that he could drop off the call if we're moving on. If he chooses to.
Or he can hang out with us for the evening.
Exactly. Mr. Guanta, which I'm probably doing a horrible job with your name, I apologize. You are free to go have dinner and hang out and enjoy your evening.
And Brianna, do we know what Alex Banner is on and muted? What application is he for?
For the sign.
The sign.
Okay,
Blue
thank you.
and red.
Thank you.
Oops, page up. Okay, next is 2020-03, Miles Pittman and Clarina Bezzola lot line approval. You guys already pretty much approved this on the
I
last
think
one?
I've unmuted the proper person, I believe.
Okay, you guys reviewed this in the last meeting and pretty much already approved it. it's quite self-explanatory. They're deleting the lot line that goes through the middle. You can see on this, my cut and paste in.
Yeah, we basically held it up because of the timing, really.
It was right. It was basically because of the timing. So unless anybody has anything else or any questions or whatever, I would say let's have a vote to certify the lot line improvement.
I'd make that motion.
Second.
Okay.
Chair,
Grant?
Chair
Yes.
Lindstrom,
Yes, I'm in favor. Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Buckbinder. Ryan, Mr.
Ryan, just hold up a sign that says either yes or no.
Mr. Zarowski, Mr. Pinsky,
Brian
Yes.
says yes.
I thank you, and Ms. Maloney.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Next is Mr. Banner and Great Blue Heron Properties. This is a sign approval on this, guys. We in 45 days after referral from the code enforcement officer, we have to see if we have any difficulty, opinions, change things or whatever. I will let Mr. Banner come in. I'll go through this first. You can see from what I have here, this is the, Mike, I'm having a brain cramp. The rezoning, the adaptive reuse, right?
Adaptive reuse, yes.
Thank you. Adaptive reuse property that we approved a while ago. And they have an existing sign that is there right now. And I remember when we did it, I said you could choose to do your sign right now if you want to have other people on the sign. Well, they luckily, and it seems, filling up the place and adaptively reusing, and want to put some of the other people that will be in the structure on the sign. So you can see where the sign is. It's 15 feet back from the side of the road. That meets the criteria that it needs. The height of the sign needs to be half of the distance back from the road. So we're good on that. It meets criteria on the height. It is not too high. I'm sorry, I'm filtering through to see my. So it is an 8 foot in height about. It's very slopey, the land there. So one leg is, you can see how, if you look at it here, one leg is higher than the other. That's so it isn't a sideways sign. It's a flat sign, and it does meet the height requirement. It is going to be internally lit, Corten steel. There's, Alex, if you're unmuted, what's the name? I can't remember now. It's in New Paltz, the example that you used, that you
One
drive
great
by.
place.
Exactly. One epic place.
One epic place.
Exactly. One epic place. The materials are wood post, right, and Corten steel, and so it's sort of the cutout numbers you can see on the side there, guys. It sort of will glow a little bit. Anybody have? It pretty much meets absolutely everything of our criteria. Anybody have any questions? I have.
Well, looks like a nice sign to me.
I know, it looks like a great sign.
That's great.
I have one question, Alex. Can the lights be turned off inside when at closing hours in the dark?
Yeah, as far as I know, yeah, we were planning on using like an LED, a solar paneled LED. So I'm sure that they switch on and off.
Because that was about the only thing I could say is this is one of the criteria that it would be nice if it would turn off at night, so we just have less.
But Maren, those
What?
lights are just lighting up the street number.
Correct. They only
Yeah,
they only light the 2919, and the idea is that the 2919 just kind of glows
Yeah.
more than is like.
Then
that is
I
lit.
mean, I'm just saying this because it's in here. I think it's fine to leave them on all the time if everybody else agrees. Does anybody
Well,
have?
that's sort of like having the reflective numbers on your mailbox, so you can, so that if you
Exactly.
need emergency services to come in, they know where they're going.
Perfect. Then I think you can leave it just as it is. We don't have to worry about a timer. Then the other thing that we technically require is landscaping at the base of signs like this. I personally think it's in a nice field. It doesn't need tufts of bushes underneath it. It's not going to add anything aesthetically. I don't know if anybody else has any opinion.
I
Looks
had a
good.
question. Sorry, I had a question about Maren, you were saying it basically meets the height. Was that because on the one side, on the side with the longer leg, if you measure from the bottom of that leg to the top, it's too tall, but whereas if you measure it from the other side, it's well within, so the average works out? I just want to make sure I'm understanding.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. If you really took sort of if you, what do you call it when you're, surveying, if you really chalk the line and said, here's the real height, that height is good, but that leg is technically longer if you just measured that leg. But if you just went across all the top of it, you're totally within what it should be with the grade.
Got it. Thank you. And then on the landscaping, I agree, as long as it's made to match the existing roadside environment.
Exactly. I don't think they need to put viburnum bushes underneath it if it just stays. Anybody else?
I'm good with that.
I'm good with that.
Okay, so I am not going to read through everything that we have here, but I will just make a motion to refer back to the, write a letter referring back to the code enforcement officer that we find no problems with this sign, and we will give our approval.
And can you
I'll
add to
second
that
that.
you would waive any landscaping requirements?
And I could read the whole thing, and I will, yes, and that we will waive any landscaping requirements that are technically in the code. Now we're having a fire crisis here.
Yeah, I'd
So,
second that.
okay, Brianna,
Chair Lindstrom,
in favor.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Buckbinder,
Look at the chat.
I can't even use, wait a minute, there we go.
We hear you.
Mr. Pinsky,
Yes.
Mr. Sarofsky,
Yes.
Ms. Maloney.
Yes.
So Alex, I'll have a more formal document you can come and pick up, but it looks like a gorgeous sign.
Great. Thank you so much.
Yes, thank you for putting up with our sort of, I give myself about a D on conducting the meeting here, but
No. Solid C. Solid C.
solid C. Great, thank you. Hey, solid C gets you through college, so that's
Yeah.
all we need. All right, so now I will handle it over to the people that are much more talented at doing online meetings for PB 2019-01, the Wayward SUPSPA, the final decision for Wayward Ranch Animal Sanctuary. So you guys are to discuss any amendments or changes to the decision and do your vote on the decision, and I will bid you all a wonderful and safe evening.
Good night, Maren.
Good night,
Good
guys.
night.
Thanks, Mark.
Night.
Okay, I
Lauren.
guess this
Thank
is where
you.
I jump in.
Yeah, and Mike, if
I can
think
sign out, right?
yeah, Alex.
Yeah, you can.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Take
you,
care,
Alex.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
So Patrick should be on that
Yeah, let
remaining
me
line.
make Patrick a co-chair, a co-host of the meeting.
Okay.
Yeah, and if I can just, before you even start, Rick, Patrick, where are you? Oh, he's on phone. Okay. I sent over a copy of the document to Victoria today. I don't know if she had a chance to get it to you because it was late in the day, just so you could read along.
Okay.
You're
Mary,
muted.
Mary Lou, is the gentleman that's, or Brianna, the other gentleman that's on the phone, is he representing the applicant?
That's the
Logan.
Patrick that I'm talking about. I'm sorry. This wasn't for Patrick Williams.
Okay.
When I
I'm gonna
said get
unmute
Patrick
him.
on,
There
yeah,
you go.
Yes.
Rick
I've
is
unmuted him.
Rick is chairing this application, and I wanted to get Patrick on because he works with Victoria and they represent
Okay.
the applicant.
But in the
So-
meantime,
Okay.
since Patrick Williams is the vice chair, should I make him, I made him a co-host for the moment, unless you don't think I need to.
It's okay with me if it's Rick's chairing this
It's,
one now.
it's fine. That's great.
Okay.
Okay. So
Um,
Mary Lou, can I proceed or do you have other items you
Well,
want to mention?
Patrick, did you get that?
Can you
Which
hear me?
Patrick?
Patrick, the lawyer?
Lawyer Patrick Esquire?
I have not been unmuted.
Yeah, we hear you.
Oh, you,
He's
Okay.
unmuted.
You're unmuted.
oh, all right, then, yes.
Did Victoria
right
get
ahead.
you a copy of the document that the board is going to discuss tonight?
She has, thank you.
Okay, beautiful. So go ahead, Rick, it's all yours.
Okay, thanks, Mary Lou. When somebody mentioned we were going to read through this, we're not going to read through it. We're going to, as I mentioned to you in an email that I sent this past Wednesday, I simply elicit any comments that anybody has. If you can limit those comments to the section that we're in. We're going to go about this in 3 sections. The first one will be the findings. The second one will be that referring to Ulster County Planning Board comments. And the final third section will be the section involving the conditions. I'm not going to ask for any comments around the first part, which is the list of all the documentation. So I'll go through each section, starting with the findings, and just to kind of put everybody at the same place. The last time that we met, which was the workshop meeting of February 24th, we got quite a number of comments from the people assembled at that meeting. And so this document reflects that all those comments. So in any case, let me go first to the findings section, which begins on page 9 of the document that I sent out to you last Wednesday. So if you could refer to the page number if you have any comments, and then the actual paragraph. The paragraphs are all numbered, so if you could refer to that paragraph.
Rick, can I stop you for one moment?
Sure.
Victoria is online. Is that the applicant?
Yes.
Victoria,
That's that's Patrick Esquire's buddy, Victoria Esquire.
Okay. I am, hang on, give me 1 minute. I'm going to admit her to the meeting. Okay, and she's admitted and unmuted.
And
Thank you.
Can I just offer, if you'd like to have the document on the screen, I can share my screen if that would be helpful.
I guess unless I prefer not to because of the technical difficulties of the documents, 30 some odd pages or more, I forget now at this point. So I want to try to avoid any confusion. If that's all
Probably
right, I'm assuming
everybody's stuff too.
I'm assuming everybody has the document, the paper document. Is that true?
Yeah.
So Sam, that's a great suggestion, but I'd rather not.
The only question I have, is there anyone else other than board members, Mike, Brianna, myself, Victoria, and Patrick on? Because if there are other members of the public, they should be able to see what we're discussing. But if nobody else got on, I'm okay. And Sam, if we have something we're discussing and everybody's going, where is that? Then I don't have any problem at all with you putting it up so people can look at it.
Well, Mary Lou, the answer to that is there's nobody in the meeting, but it is being put out on YouTube.
Then we should have that document up just in case.
Okay, Mary Lou, can we limit that to if some board member has a question?
Yeah, we don't generally hand them out at the meeting.
Okay, so I'll follow along, Rick, and then if we're getting something, just, give me the hi sign and I'll share my screen. Otherwise,
Right, if we're discussing a particular area.
Okay, that's super. All right, so I'm on page 9 and we're in the findings section. So does any member of the board have a comment on the findings section?
No.
Brian, since we had problems with you, mute or unmute. Brian, are you okay? No comments. Okay, I just got something typed from him. All right,
Yep.
so there being no comments on the findings section, then what I'm going to do is call a vote on the findings section. So
Have a first
is that
and a
appropriate,
second.
Mary Lou?
Have a motion and a second.
Okay, so I'll entertain a motion. If you could flip to page 25 in the document. I'll give you a minute to flip there.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so Mary Lou, should I read? Let me just read this. This will be one of the only things I'll read. So whereas draft findings were prepared by the acting chair and were read, discussed, and amended in a public meeting by the planning board on 2/24/20. Does that need to be changed, that date?
Okay.
Well, the changes that you made were
Discussed at that meeting.
right, but they were from comments at the meeting, but I don't know that the changes themselves were discussed. So I'd say that draft findings were prepared by the acting chair. I guess they are all changes from the 24th.
Yes.
So yeah, so that is appropriate. I'm sorry.
Okay, all right. Therefore, the planning board adopts these statements as written findings of the special use and site plan proposal. So can I have a motion to accept the findings?
I move we accept the findings.
Can I have a
I'll
second?
second.
Okay, thank you all. Brianna, would you call the vote?
Chair Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Buckbinder,
Nope, you're muted again, Brian.
Abstain.
okay. Mr. Pinsky,
Yes.
Mr. Sarofsky,
Yes.
Ms. Maloney.
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes to accept the findings. I'll then move on to page 36, which is the material, the Ulster County Planning Board. Again, I'm not going to read this tonight. There were actually 2 referrals. I will say that there were 2 referrals to the planning board. The first one was in May of 19. We received back comments. You'll see on page 26 our comments on their comments. And then on page 27, we referred to the Ulster County Planning Board again on November 27th because of additional material that we got from the applicant. And the Ulster County Planning Board came back to us in December and said, essentially, all of the, excuse me, all the comments that they had on the project from the first and the second submission have been satisfied. And they simply made a recommendation, a reminder, if you would, about getting health department approval for those things that need approval. So unless anybody has any questions or comments about that, does anybody have any comments or questions about the Ulster County Planning Board material?
No.
Okay, there being no comments, I'm going to entertain a motion to accept this section, accept the comments and all comments back to the Ulster County Planning Board. I'll accept a motion.
I will make the motion to accept the Ulster County Planning Board.
I'm second, Zorian.
Okay, so that was Patrick, and the second was who?
Zorian.
Zorian.
Zorian, okay. And Brianna, would you call the votes?
Chair Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Buckbinder. Abstain.
Brian?
Okay.
No?
Brian's abstained, okay.
Mr. Sarofsky,
Yes.
Mr. Pinsky,
Yes.
Ms. Maloney.
Yes.
Okay, the motion passes. All right, and then the final section, starting on page 28, are the conditions of the approval. They go through from page 28 all the way through to page 34. And I do want to make, Victoria, I know that you're on, and you're on with the, I see you're there with your with the munchkin.
Her second planning board meeting.
Oh, so cute. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Okay, so Victoria, just want to make a comment, if you have the document in front of you, but on numbers on page 33 and 34, numbers 20 and 21, there are a number of conditions there having to do with some technical matters that were pointed out by our consultant, Liz Axelson.
Right.
So that's primarily on 20. So again, technical, and then 21, just a reminder that we want to see all notations, want to see everything on the site plans, that everything that we have on paper is consistently noted on the site plans. So importantly, the purpose of those two sections was to remind the applicant that we need to see either new site plans, updated site plan, well, not new, but updated site plans.
One more set of plans.
Okay, with all of the technical changes that were required, and they're truly just technical. I can assure the board, I've been through these with Liz, just to make it easy for everybody in actually monitoring the construction when that takes place. Okay, so that's the only comment I have. Again, any comments from anybody on the board?
No.
Okay. Mary Lou, should I read that whole section on page 34 at the bottom of page 34?
Let me, I think you're gonna.
I guess I will, Mary Lou.
Yeah, you can. You
Okay.
can. Are you
Okay.
talking about like the effective approval and things? Or are you
Okay, I'll
talking
start
about?
there on page 34. The Town of Rochester Planning Board further grants the authority to the acting chair to certify that the above conditions have been completed without further resolution and to sign and date the plat at such time. Effective the approval, this special use and site plan approval and associated conditions shall be binding upon the applicant and all successive owners of the land, so long as such uses shall occur. Number 2, this approval shall remain effective as an authorization to secure the required permits and establish the use for a maximum of 1 year from this date of approval, unless the applicant shall have submitted written request and the planning board shall have adopted such resolution granting an extension, and provided the applicant has submitted proof of having diligently pursued the implementation of the plans. Draft resolution was prepared by the acting chair and was read, discussed, and amended by the planning board in public meeting. And so I'll now entertain a motion and a second to approve the conditions. Motion.
I'll approve the motion.
Okay.
It's a
make
motion
a
to
motion
grant
to-
approval with
I make a motion
conditions.
to approve the conditions.
Approve with the conditions.
Okay, thank you, Mary Lou.
You're welcome.
A second?
I'll second Patrick.
That was
Motion
Sam. Before I call the vote, Victoria and Brianna, actually, I just want to make sure that at some point we get you two together, or Mike, whatever, to make sure we've got all our fees paid. That's one of the conditions, and I just want to remind everybody that has to be done. Having said that, Brianna, would you call the vote?
Mr. Jones, Chair Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Williams,
Yes.
Mr. Buckbinder. I'm gonna wait 1 second. Thank you. Mr.
Thank you.
Abstain. Mr. Sarofsky,
Yes.
Mr. Pinsky,
Yes.
and Ms. Maloney.
Yes.
Okay, so the motion passes to approve the the conditions. So that should do it.
Before you close up, can I just make one comment for the people out there in YouTube land? Because we didn't put up this very long document. And that is just to say that the document was, excuse me, Acting Chairman Jones took the document that he had at the earlier meeting and just made all of the changes and amendments that the board asked him to make.
Thank you, Mary Lou.
You're welcome.
And everything is red, just if I could add to that, everything is redlined as members of the board can see. So what I'll now do is unredline them,
Right.
put them in black and get rid of the lined out sections. And I'll do that I'll do that tomorrow. And Brianna, I'll make it available to you by Wednesday. So if anybody from the public wants to come in and get a copy, they'll be able to do that. And I guess it'll be put up. It'll
And
be put
Brianna,
up.
just keep a copy of the red line version as well, because that is
Yes,
part of the record.
I have a copy of that on my, yeah, and so does Brianna. And I think that's it. So I just want to, it's been a long project, so I just want to thank all members of the board, members of the applicant's team, and for the public out there that might be viewing this on YouTube, thank you for your participation. It's been over a year, so.
I want
Thank
to
you.
second that sentiment. You guys, 33-page resolution is unheard of, and you guys were very diligent, and I know it was a lot of tough issues and a lot of time, so thank you for your consideration.
Okay, you're welcome. Thank you for your all of your input and getting us what we wanted.
Rick, thank you for your leadership.
Oh,
Thank you, Rick.
Thank
Nice job.
it was fun. I have a few more gray hairs. You want to see
It
them?
was fun,
Here they
but you're
are.
glad it's over, right?
You'd
Okay.
rather go see the dentist than have a tooth pulled, I imagine.
Not now.
Yeah.
I certainly learned a lot, and thank you for all the help that I got from all of you, from Mary Lou, from Brianna, and and some advice from Mike, given his extensive advice in putting these things together. So thank you all. And if I left anybody out for thanks, I apologize. It's beyond my bedtime. All right, Mary Lou, is there anything else that we need to do on this?
A motion to adjourn.
Mary Lou,
Okay, I'll
should
accept the
Patrick do
motion.
that or Rick?
Sorry, say that again.
I just
Rick
didn't
can-
know if Patrick should
Rick
do
can
it or
do
Rick.
that. Rick
Okay.
can do that because the board decided at another meeting that Rick would be doing the meetings for this particular application.
Okay,
All right, so I will accept a motion to adjourn.
I give that motion. I make a motion to adjourn.
Zorian, second.
Second.
A second.
Sam seconds. Okay,
Thank
I
you.
think that's it.
Nice seeing all you guys.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yeah, it really
thank
is.
you. Stay
Okay.
well, everybody.
Bye-bye,
Good luck to
everybody.
all of us.
See you, Anne
Night,
Marie.
everybody.
everybody.
Drive home
Brianna,
carefully.
Yeah.
Brianna,
Oh,
I'll catch up with you tomorrow on
Stay healthy.
Don't trip on the
Thank
way to the
you.
bedroom as you drive home.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Good night, everybody. Thank you
Bye,
so
good
much.
night.
Thank you all.
Right, Brianna.
Good night, Patrick.